Alright, I just decided to record it back to back because I did tell you in the last video I was not going to leave myself out. So, with this video, this will be to an extent ending the family drama dynamic series and starting the relationship one. Of course, in the relationship stuff, we will still discuss some stuff from my family because that is still a relationship. This series, though, starting the relationship series, we'll get in a little bit more into the relationship we should be having with ourselves, and then more along the lines of the intimate relationships. Again, we'll discuss family, friends, work, all that jazz, but it'll be primarily on the intimate relationships. So with that being said, I was a good kid growing up, okay? Got good grades in school. Like I told you, I got spanked one time. Never ran away, never got kicked out. The only time I got kicked out was when I was over the age of 18 and my mom was just being a freaking you know what word, okay? Absolutely ridiculous. Like I can, but I can't at the same time. Anyways, but yeah, like I never really talked back. I never really, I always asked a lot of questions. I was always very curious. Always, why this, why that, what are we? Major flaw, okay, in the thought process. Not a flaw of me, okay? A flaw in the thought process. Really bad anxiety. And I don't know, a very negative thinking, very, very bad. And I still struggle with them both to this day, but it's more manageable. It's easier to manage and fix, and it's just, we'll get into that in other videos, but extremely negative, worried about everything, okay? And I don't know why. I don't, okay? I don't know if it was all the news we watched growing up. I don't know if it was the things we were told, like, oh, don't go do that, you might die, or oh, don't, ridiculous things people say to you, okay? I don't know. Just the first time I just remember, I think it was one of my mom's friends saying, dude, why do you worry? You have nothing to worry about. And I'm like, yeah, I do. You crazy? I don't have things to worry about. But really, what do kids have that, what should... Being a kid, you really shouldn't be worrying about if someone's gonna come in your home and, like, slaughter your whole family. Or if next time you drive on the road, you're gonna get into an accident and crash and everybody's gonna die or something like that. It's like, it happens, yes, but not to the point where a little kid should be worried when these, thinking about those kinds of things. I just always, like I said, very negative, and my grandma, oh gosh. I mean, that's probably part of it. My grandma's so negative, and all she does is complain and complain and complain. Okay, so that's it's definitely probably part of it. That's it. That's all she does is complain. Not a good thing has happened to her in her life. Not anything is she. Oh, she's so bad. Okay, so bad. So, that's probably part of it. However, I don't really recall ever spending a whole lot of time with my grandma just because, one, like my mom, very emotionally unavailable. But every time we did interact with her, it was always negative. It was always bitter. It was always a complaint. It was always like, sucks the life right out of you, okay? And that's just how I and like I said when talking about my dad, very big people pleaser. I did anything and everything that everybody else wanted me to do. But as a kid, I didn't really see any wrong in that. It wasn't like I wasn't doing things I wanted to do. I was still playing sports. I was still going out with my friends, having sleepovers, birthday parties. Like, we still did all that stuff, you know. But as I got older, having had done that for years and years already as a child, you know, that pattern just goes, and you don't really think about it, like you're on autopilot, right? Until one day somebody says, "What the hell are you doing?" And then you're like, "Oh, what have I been doing? I don't know, but something ain't right here." And you finally realize that that is not the route to go, okay? But as a kid, you know, I'm just doing what I'm told. You told me to do that, so I'm doing it. Like, there was never any pushback from me, you know, at least not until I started getting older. There was none of that from me. You got a lot of that from the younger and the older siblings, but there was none of that from me. And like I said, I just didn't see any wrong in it until I got older. But even then, you know, as you get older, you still have to go through things. Having somebody just tell you, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. That's not enough, okay? Ugh, I think I have dog hair in my mouth. Ugh. Ew. Yeah, okay, this dog sheds 24 freaking 7, but it's worse now because it's about to be winter time, and apparently they like get rid of their summer coat in the winter. I don't remember it being this bad. Like, clumps are just like coming off of this dog, okay? It's everywhere. Like, literally, we will weep, and 10 minutes later, it looks like we haven't swept in a month, okay? It's so bad. Hopefully it'll be done soon. The Rock was a German Shepherd, if you kind of didn't get that, or have never seen him, or don't follow me anywhere else. But yeah, you still have to experience things for yourself, and sometimes you're able to understand the experience that other people tell you, and then maybe you can make that decision and say, okay, you know, maybe this isn't a good idea. But then sometimes you still got to go through it. Now, nobody really told me their experiences with it. They just kind of told me, like, you're stupid. Why are you doing this? Okay, one, that's not the right approach. I'm all for tough love, but that's not the right kind of tough love that I needed at that point. So yeah, very big people pleaser, okay? To a fault. Like I said, very flawed thought processes and thinking, and a lot of myths, a lot of flawed premises, if you will. But that's why I'm here now, is to tell you guys, because I know there are so many other people out there that have gone through that, are currently going through that, will go through that, or are still in distress over that, and it happened years and years ago. And I feel like it's talked about, but at the same time, it's not talked about, and we need to do it on a very deep emotional level. So if you guys see me getting overly emotional in the video, It's not because I'm upset at what happened. It's not because I'm not over it. I have been there and done that, and I'm fine with how everything was. It is what it is, and it's brought me to who I am today to even make this series for you guys. The reason why I will start to get emotional is because I know and I remember exactly what that felt like and all that I had to do to get through that, and to know that some of you out there are doing that same thing to yourself right now. That's where that emotion is coming from, because I know how you feel. It sucks. It's like the worst feeling on the face of the earth. And especially those of you who have felt it more than once. That's even harder, because you tell yourself after that first one, never again. So then what happens when it happens again? It's not good. I'll put it that way, okay? But I'm an extremely empathetic person. So the moment I hear somebody say, oh, my boyfriend cheated on me. Oh, even for you men, okay? If your girlfriend cheats on you, you may not feel the emotions as much as we do, but I'm telling you, it's the same. It's the same feeling. It's not like it's a different feeling for you men than it is for us. Like I said, the level or the powerfulness of the emotion may not be as extreme as it is for some women, but men are very emotional as well. And I'm not trying to take anything away from men and their emotions, because it happens to men too. Like, it's not only women that can benefit from this series I'm about to do. Like, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that it doesn't also apply to men, because I know that men get cheated on too. Like, it's not a one-way street here, okay? But like I said, I know what you're going through. And I know what you need to do to get out of that. And it's not going to be easy. I will tell you right now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy. But when you go from that emotion to rediscovering who you are, what you want, the love that you have for yourself, what you will never let happen to you again. Oh God. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna be confident. You're gonna be strong. You're gonna have so much love and care for yourself that nobody else is going to be able to break that down. If you did not watch my video about the most important relationship, then I suggest you watch that video. Because the number one most important relationship you will ever have in your life is the one that you have with yourself. And we're going to get into that in a lot in this relationship series, because that is the foundation. You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. You will not find a whole person if you are not a whole person yourself. And some of us think we're whole when we're not. Some of us think we're ready, we're fixed, we're all this, and we're not. But we will get into ways to help you figure out if you are whole or not, if you are ready or not, if that is something you should pursue or something you should pump the brakes on. It's going to take a lot. It's kind of like people in the gym, if any of you work out. Eventually, you start knowing what weights to use. You get the feeling in your body, you know when your form is slightly off. You know when you walk into any gym, maybe you forgot your notebook, or maybe you don't even look at your notebook anymore, because you know now, oh, if I'm gonna deadlift for 5 reps, I know what I need to put on that bar. I know what if I'm gonna squat for 10 reps, I know what I should put on that bar. But a beginner, they don't know, but over time, as you learn the gym and you learn the form and you learn your body and you listen to it all, and it's going to be the same thing here. Once you start learning yourself, learning your thoughts, learning what the heck went wrong, what worked, what didn't work, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you're willing to keep, what you need to get rid of, because there's probably a lot we need to get rid of, okay? And then when you get rid of things, you can replace them with something better, okay? That's kind of basically what we're gonna have to get into. The nitty gritty, the deep down, where we're gonna get as deep can go. You might have a decomposed body down there, 100 feet, and we gotta dig it out with a fork. I don't know, okay, or a spork, a spoon fork, That's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take a lot of digging, In the beginning, you might be like, yeah, we need to use this spork because I don't want to dig. I don't want to. But as we start digging and uncovering things, eventually you're going to say, okay, get the shovel. Let's do it. Get the shovel. And we're going to dig, and we're going to hit something. And that something is going to be not necessarily your aha moment. I don't want to say that. But that something is going to be the real you. That's something that we hit is going to be who you should have been. Who you should be now. Who you're meant to be. Everything that you maybe threw away and buried for somebody else. We're going to uncover it. We're going to dig it back up. And you're gonna be it. Okay? And like I said, some of you, we might be digging for quite some time. Some of you, we might just need to dig a little bit because you only buried it 6 months ago. But somebody else might have buried it 6 years ago, or 20 years ago, or however long ago. Or maybe you got more than one thing buried under there. And we got to get through those things before we can get to the big thing, So it really just depends. But that's what we're going to get into. I'm not going to record it right after this, though, because that series, I probably will sit down and record all in one day because it is a lot. But I will make sure to keep the videos under that, 20 or under mark. I don't know how long the series will be. I'm just going to go until I get it all out. And if you guys have questions or comments or things you want me to dive deeper on, or a specific situation you're going through right now that you would like me to discuss, please drop it in the comments and I will discuss it. I'll put a little pause on it or whatever, and say that it was a question or a scenario from a comment or something like that. If you want to submit it anonymously, you can email me. I'll make sure that my email's in the description. You can DM me on Instagram if you want it to be anonymous. If you don't want to post it here on YouTube, I won't say your name or anything like that when I bring up the scenario. I got a lot of scenarios though, so I may touch on some, and you may not need to ask it. But if you're excited for this series, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have a friend or a family member that has gone through this or is going through this, or you think might be going through this and they're oblivious to it, kind of like I was, tell them to watch it. Have them watch the series. And even if they don't, and that ends up being the case, let them know afterwards to come back and watch this. If they need to call me, if they need to email me, if they want to talk to me one-on-one, not just listen to my videos, then they can do that too. But for now, I'm going to end this here. But I want to let you know that next series is going to get emotional. Some of you are going to have a very hard time. Some of you it's going to be easier for. Some of you, like I said, you might think, this is a breeze. And then 6 months later, you're right back into the same problem. You have to take this seriously. Like, this is your life. And if you're tired of these relationships, one after another happening like this, then you've got some serious digging to do. Some serious adjusting. Maybe even changing to do. It's a lot of mindset stuff, okay? So I hope you're ready. And with that, I will see you in the next video.